All right, so now this software is working. So it's not YouTube. And I got a guest to come on in like 2 minutes. But at least now my software is working. So let me see if my people on YouTube can now finally hear me. That would be nice. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. You know, there's a time I would have been like stressed out. Guys, nothing I could do with it. It's technology. Don't you hate that? Look, now they gave me an update and that's what broke it. All right. But it's okay. I'll write them tomorrow. Let's make sure that people can hear me out here in YouTube world, guys. Sorry for the long delay, like a half an hour delay. Loud and clear. Thank you so much. I hope we can hear phone calls. Let me do a test with my man CJ. Hey, CJ.
Testing. 1, 2, testing. You're good. You're good on YouTube too. I just checked. You're all good.
Hey man, I had to use another app, man. Thank you so much, CJ. All right, guys, let's start thank you for being patient, guys. Like, I thought maybe they saw the title of the show and they didn't want us to do this show. So you start getting paranoid, right? But it's not YouTube, so with all the bad hate mail YouTube's been getting lately, this wasn't them. All right, so anyway, let's do some music and get ready for Chase Iron Eyes. Let's go.
Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
True.
Solidarity, brothers,
Funny.
sisters.
Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black.
It's just Kool-Aid. No, it's not Kool-Aid. Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Tim Black at Night Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I ran into a number of technical difficulties tonight, but guys, I'm here with you. We're together. We're in this together. Thank you so much for being here. Give it up for all my people waiting around for me. You guys are fantastic, man. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for waiting around for me. I really appreciate it. Sincerely, guys. God, I don't have much time for an intro, but I am glad to say that I am ready and prepared for our guest tonight. So that's what's most important. Me, you see all the time, but my guest, this is big. All right? This is huge. This is huge, guys. I don't see him yet, so I will go ahead and try to do a little introduction about something that's on my mind. Edward Snowden. I told Facebook Live. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Hey, Facebook Live, how you doing? Welcome to the show, Facebook Live. You've been with me for a half an hour, so I kind of forgot. But thank you so much that I forgot, like, it's really, I need to do the real introduction. So Facebook Live, man, thank you so much for having my back. I appreciate you. Tim Black's Wolfpack on Facebook Live. Also, not to be forgotten, all my people that have been hanging out on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Blog Talk Radio who haven't cursed me out yet. Thank you for hanging in there for this episode and fast forwarding. I hope you did to this part of the show. Give it up for yourselves. Now, let me just go over and keep my board up so I can see what's going on. Now, last but not least, my YouTube people that hung around through the technical difficulty. Tim Black's Wolfpack, man, thank you so much for being here. You guys keep me going. Thank you. I appreciate you. Yes. Shout out to Patrick Kamba. Thank you, Pat. Man, I love you, Pat. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. And you know why, DeCambra. You know why. Thank you, brother. Having my back, brother. All right. What's up with Edward Snowden trying to get Obama to act human? Come on, man. Look. I want Edward Snowden to get to pardon. Okay, in case you don't know, let me back up. Edward Snowden wrote an article, and I think it's in The Guardian or it's an interview. I read like 90% of it. What he's hoping is that on the way out the door, Obama does something good Well, he's done a couple of good things, but to make this be his last hurrah, or close to it. While you're pardoning people, you've been running around pardoning people, which is great. You need to pardon more people, particularly nonviolent drug users, particularly those people. Heck, why don't you just pardon like half of them? Half of all the people in prison don't need to be there. Pardon all the poor people who couldn't afford good representation. But okay, that's another discussion. Edward Snowden is imploring Obama to give him a break. He's like, look what all I did for you. I helped make the country better. Even what's his name? What's this guy's name? Do nothing. Whatever his name was, the former district attorney general. What's his name? You guys know his name. What's the former attorney general? The former attorney general's name who left? I forget it. Even he had written that Edward Snowden has forced them to make improvements that have bettered the country. Now, but the White House press secretary or spokesperson, right? I guess it is, Ernest. He said that the government's, he stuck to the party line like, well, Edward Snowden has broken laws and should come back to the country and face, based on its administration following of policy, he should come back and face a trial by his peers. And yeah, all right. Look, guys, here's the thing. Edward Snowden revealed that our government was breaking laws. And I'm tired of us shooting messengers and not shooting the thing that they messaged about. If I call you to tell you that your car got stolen, don't be mad at me. Be glad I told you so you don't go out to your car looking for it in the rain and let your ride leave you. Right? And what we keep doing here is we punish the people that tell us the stuff that some of them don't want us to know. But I'm so glad what Edward Snowden did, because he pulled the cover over. He pulled down the covers on what was happening with all of our privacy rights. Now, don't get me twisted. I understand that the government's not happy about that, though. I disagree with them doing it to begin with. It's not like they it's not like they didn't know they were breaking the law. So it's not like they were revealing, like he revealed something to them. It wasn't like when Edward Snowden said, hey, you guys are spying on all these phones without having a court order. It's not like they went, what? Really? We are? I had no idea we were doing that. No, they already knew it. Edward Snowden, I want you to get this pardon. There's a change.org petition going around, guys. If you can find it, sign it. I just read about it just before going on air, guys. If you can find it, sign it, and help Edward Snowden make some noise. We also know about the timing of this is right around the time of the new release of the Edward Snowden movie. So that's great, right? So that should actually give him more legs, right? More legs, right? Movie coming out, people are going to be even more sympathetic. So we got the movie coming out about his story, and now we have a petition, and then we have all types of media, including entities like the ACLU and other humanitarian rights organizations fighting on his behalf. So I'm hoping, guys, that we can turn the tide on this one and get one of our guys home that did us all a service. He didn't do this for notoriety. He didn't do this for money. In fact, it cost him to do this. It cost him. So we should have his back and do whatever we have to do. Fantastic, guys. Now, thank you so much for waiting. I appreciate you all. Now, it is my privilege to bring out my guest. And I'm really excited about this because we have such timely conversation that we're going to have about some issues that are right now, I know, in the front of your mind, because we're all thinking about it. I didn't start out talking about it because I wanted to save my passion for the conversation with my new friend. He's a candidate for U.S. House of Representatives in North Dakota at large. Only one district for state. He's raised on Standing Rock Reservation by a single working mother. Has been working since the age of 14 out of necessity to help make ends meet. He graduated with a bachelor's from University of North Dakota with a double major of political science and Native American studies in 2000. He's younger than me. I like this. He completed legal training at University of Denver Storm College in 2007. Well, not younger than, about the same age. Got off track. College in 2007, gained admission to South Dakota Bar and served as House Counsel to various tribal nations in the Northern Plains. He went into practice in 2011. He's married to Dr. Sarah Jumping Eagle, and they have 3 children. Well known along with his wife for their roles in reclaiming sacred lands. What a way to be known, right? For reclaiming sacred lands. Known as Pesla in the Black Hills of North Dakota. In 2013, this man joined forces with the North Dakotas to protest neo-Nazi white supremacists. Right on the bottom of my list of people I would like to kick it with, who tried to take over the town of Leith, North Dakota, and prove there is no room for hate in the state. I'll give you guys my new friend and yours, Chase Iron Eyes. Give it up for him, y'all. Sir.
Okay.
Hey.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Man, thank you so much for waiting, man. I had a technical difficulty way before before the show, like as the show started. So running a little bit late, man. Thank you for your patience. Man, you are it, brother. You are it, man. Reading this, and look, man, reading this, man, it gives us a lot of inspiration. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great. I just came from the Bernie Sanders held a rally in front of the White House, and Van Jones came through, and some other political and other organizers. I mean, it was really awesome, and it was off the chain. There was probably about 3,000 people there, and it's a little bit hot. You know, I come from North Dakota where it's cold up there, and so. But you heard about the Dakota Access Pipeline struggle that's going on right now where I live.
Yes, sir.
I live out there on that reservation. That's where I grew up, you know, and after I went out and went to school and you know, got married, and we started having a family, we came back right to where home was. You know, it's kind of like going back to the hood. When you make it out the hood, you go back to the res to try to inspire and lead by example and just kind of show young people that you know, you can be involved in struggles and you can come back from those things and you can do good things in life. And so that's where me and my wife been there for 2 years now. Our kids hated us at first because we went from, you know, my wife is a pediatrician, so she had us living in a good house in a good neighborhood and all that stuff, which is fine.
Right.
Nothing against that, but it ain't like that anymore. And but the kids are learning humility. They're learning that the struggle is real, you know, and everybody's got to be uplifted, not just we make ours and then we bounce out on our people. But it's tough. It's definitely tough. But that's where I find myself right now. I'm an attorney, a judge, and an activist, a social justice activist. And then the Democratic Party in North Dakota just got tired of getting their butts kicked, and they said, "Hey, man, we need to run some Indians out here because there's up to 70,000 native votes to be won, and we ain't voting. We're not voting out there. We vote in tribal elections, but not state or federal, and we need to. You know what I mean? It's just we all need to be empowered and making sure our voices are heard and shared."
Absolutely, man. So that's what brought you to do it, man. So you wanted to give back, so you said this is the way to do it. What type of struggles what are you facing? What are the people of North Dakota facing right now? Besides
The first and foremost, you know, the principal struggle, the one that's gaining worldwide attention, is big oil is being funded by big banks to build a pipeline that was set to go through the capital city. That's where I was living. We were living in the capital city of North Dakota, which is called Bismarck, and it's about 80,000 people there. And the Dakotas are like 90% white. You know what I'm saying? 90% European, and 9%, 10%, 9.9% Native, and then maybe 0.1 black. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
And so the diversity situation isn't what it is like in DC or any other metro area. And so it's kind of it's been a struggle up there. But the point is, they moved this pipeline from going through the capital city to putting it down to where the Native Americans live on the Standing Rock Reservation, where I live now. And about 4,000 people have mobilized. They've come there. They've set up a permanent camp, and they're vowing to stay there until this pipeline is defeated or rerouted to not cross the Missouri River at all. And we thought, you know, Obama came through after the legal process failed and the move to stop the pipeline failed. Obama came through and put a stop to drilling under the river, but that still left the rest of the pipeline corridor open for construction. And today they were out there building again while I was out here, and 22 people were arrested. Now this includes legal observers, this includes medics, this includes support. This is beyond the people who are there to chain themselves to bulldozers and that kind of stuff.
Wow.
And there's the state of emergency has been declared by the governor. The National Guard has been activated by the governor. SWAT teams were on site today with AR-15s. There's roadblocks out there, manned by the National Guard. And then on September 3rd, private security came through with vicious attack dogs that actually ended up attacking women and children. And so it harkens back to the 50s,
right?
And civil rights struggles.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, we've been covering this. We've been following this very closely, my brother. Like, I've done countless videos on it. I've been reporting on it every step of the way. And I held off today because I knew I would be talking to you about it, and you would be the better source for information on it, man. The National Guard, they're threatening people with guns now.
Yes, they're out there in full. They're militarized. I mean, they're fully soldiered up out there. There's not many of them. There's maybe 100 of them, but
right.
It's just the president. It's just the presence, because the protest camps are completely unarmed.
Right. Right.
And their path is through civil disobedience.
Yes.
And nonviolence.
Yes, sir.
And so it's a complete overreaction. And there's women and kids out there, and the entire camp is mostly women and children. And I do remember, before you contacted me to get on the show, I remember you speaking on it, like maybe on a Facebook Live update, man. And we really appreciate that.
Oh man,
that was clutch right there.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. I do. You know, when I looked at the pictures, man, I just feel like it's so important. And look, I know everyone should be involved, man. It doesn't matter where you're from, what color you are, but I really feel that African Americans, black folks, we really need to look at other people's situations and have the same reaction we would want them to have for what's going on where we are, in our inner cities, in Baltimore, in wherever we are. So it really pains me, man, that I can't be there with you tonight, man, because I would love to be where you are. You know what I'm saying? And I know tomorrow I'm not going to be able to make it out, man. But it just reminds me so much of how the civil rights, it's horrible, brother.
Right. That's what's going on. And there's that old saying that an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. I believe one of the Kennedys said that. But in that same spirit, we brought out. I'm friends with one of the founders of Black Lives Matters.
Wow.
And so we brought. I just sent Patrice a message, and she brought out a whole contingent of BLM supporters. She brought out a little brigade, and they camped out there. You know what I mean? They slept in teepees, and it's that kind of solidarity that, it's not a solidarity against anything. And that's how the Trump supporter type people want us to concentrate on those divisive things. Like, it should be us against this color of people. We should be against that color of people.
Right.
But it's not even like that, because water, water is a sacred thing to Native Americans. Water is our first medicine, but water is also the source of all economic activity on our planet and in our country. And so in my run for Congress, I've had to re-message that, repurpose it so different audiences can access that same spirit of wanting to protect our freshwater resources, because there's no energy development, there's no food security, there's no agriculture, there's no jobs unless we have fresh water. And so that's what's uniting us out there. It's kind of a confluence of, rights of Mother Earth, social justice causes, human rights, civil rights, constitutional rights. It's all in one place, and it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a once in a lifetime kind of thing. We haven't gotten together like this in a long, long time.
Great point, Chase. I want to go there, man. When I first reported on this, I think it was a couple weeks, I got the number, said like 90 different tribes, different tribes were there. Now I'm hearing a different number. What's the real number now, Chase?
We counted 140 different tribal flags 2 days ago, and so it's probably up. Caravans come in every day, and it's just it's an extreme show of solidarity, and it's just happening at the right time, and it's really important for us to understand, to not feel excluded from there just because you're not there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you live
right
in a city or anywhere in the world, you can always go to those Facebook pages, which are kind of being censored as of late, because you got to realize who we're up against here. I mean, this is too big to fail finance. This is Citibank, Wells Fargo, J.P. Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs. I mean, this is
ING. You're right.
These guys are huge. That's who's funding the big oil conglomerates, and so it's like David against Goliath out there. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. Energy Transfer Partners is the name of that. I would call it an umbrella, man. I don't know what kind of corporation this is, man. They're bloodsuckers is what they are. But
right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's horrific what they're doing, man. It's like they believe that how often do pipelines burst? They burst. They leak. Right? This is not a new phenomenon.
Yeah.
Are there some other pipelines that are nearby that have leaked in that area?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a huge 800,000 gallon spill in Tioga. Mm-hmm. There's somewhere between 2,500 existing oil spills on the ground right now in North Dakota, because that's the heart of the Bakken oil shale. So there's a lot of oil development out there. Spills happen, man, and the guys with the big money, they're not cleaning it up. And so they're trying to stick that cost with the state government. And since oil prices have dropped, the state government is in a deficit now. And so those spills are not getting cleaned up. But so it's kind of a decision that people are having to make between, do I want to risk clean water for my children and their great-grandchildren? That's legitimately
right.
An existential dilemma presented to people who live south of this pipeline. It's not there yet. They're constructing everywhere else, except they don't have the permit to drill underneath the river yet. And that's why I'm out here in D.C. to try to get some energy going behind Bernie Sanders' legislation to require an EIS, an environmental impact statement, trying to put pressure on President Obama, the House of Congress, to completely revoke the permits, because it's a process. So they have one permit to drill, but it's got to go through some next steps, and we want the thing totally killed. I mean, and I'm catching a lot of flack because my state is a an energy-friendly state, or I should say it's been completely bought out by big oil, like, the majority of the Republican legislature. And
Right.
what I'm finding out is that, look, we have to communicate it in different terms. We're not pro-progress, whatever that is, defined by Western standards. We realize that our country is using 20 million barrels of oil per day. But if that's the reality, the economic reality, that let's just say it's been put in place by those who set to gain from that economic reality,
there you go.
then we should be smart about where that infrastructure is laying, so it's not putting at risk our most important resource, which is water. And these guys don't care. They don't care about if it's destroyed or not. They don't live there. This is colonization, 2.0 in 2016.
Exactly. Yeah, if you ran that through their backyard, they probably have a different idea about what they want to do at that point, because it would affect their children and their way of life and what they're used
and
to,
that's what,
their health.
That's exactly what happened. They moved it south because the river flows south. So they made sure they were north of that pipeline, and they put it where we live.
Man, I see so many similarities between this and the issues, other issues I've seen, like in Michigan, with Flint water, and
yes.
I just see the same thing. The most vulnerable people get the shortest end of the stick.
That's exactly what we're faced with. This will be the next Flint, Michigan, right here. We don't continue to stand up, if we don't continue to reach out, and if energy doesn't continue to build to defeat this thing. But it's definitely possible.
Definitely. Could you tell us a little bit about life on the Standing Rock Reservation? I want people to really get a sense, Chase, of how this impacts the lives, how the water is so necessary. I want to put, because I know we got most of my listeners probably get it, but I want to reach people who don't understand why this is so important. You know what I mean? So if you could just highlight like what a normal day is, what the life is like in Standing Rock.
Yes, Standing Rock has about, it's not large, you know what I mean? There's only about 7,000 people living there, but the land is wide open. Like, we've got 2.3 million acres of land there, which is about the size of Connecticut.
Wow.
Right around there.
It's beautiful.
We've got 90 miles of shoreline as our border, as our eastern border. And the Missouri River represents the only source of drinking water that we have. And we have been subjected to economic injustice before. We bore the cost of American progress before. Our lands were flooded there to build large hydroelectric dams, and so we lost. It's always been a power play to make us and even other populations dependent on a different hand to feed us, and that's what happened to a lot of populations in the United States. That's the story of colonization. And so what we have on the res is an imposed poverty culture. We have a different value system that's been implanted and imposed there, by force, about the time that the reservation era began, around the 1880s and after. They criminalized being Indian, you know what I mean? Like speaking our language, wearing long hair, participating in our original religious ceremonies and that type of thing. Like being who we really are. They criminalized it. And so now, we all speak English. We all live in these modern, they're not modern at all, but they're box houses, so they're modern to us. They're government houses, HUD houses. And, we don't all live in those, but I would say 80% of us do. There's hardly any private housing market there. It's real. It's like the projects, but on a smaller scale. You know what I mean? Like just a smaller scale, but the same struggles are still there. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's still government cheese there, and so
I know about that.
there's
Yeah.
a lot of,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We know the struggle, man. It's just it's in a more rural setting on a smaller scale.
Wow.
So, you know, but people are doing their best, man. We're trying to adapt.
Yeah, I think people need to hear it. People need to know what's going on. If you live in New York City, for instance, you probably have no concept of that, but you understand when he relates it to inner city living, when and just just the I don't know, the close proximity to your next door neighbor, a confined space, people not doing well, people broke pretty much, and people just trying to make ends meet. I know you can relate to that, and you know what? I know there are people in Kentucky that can relate to that. Can relate to not having ends meet. Like that's something that affects us from all over the country, all over the world even. Another thing I want to touch on, Chase, and I'm pretty sure this is part of your campaign, but what about police treatment of Native Americans? I'm so glad you're on this show. I know it, but I want you to share it with my viewers, please.
That's what, when Eric Garner and Mike Brown, when they were murdered and their murderers were never brought to justice, we felt that in the Native community. And so we formed Native Lives Matter to add some momentum and to tell our story, because we felt that our story could help Black Lives Matter. And so that's how Patrice and I met. And, Black Lives Matter, Black lives are being taken at about the same rate as Native lives are being taken. Native lives are proportionately taken more, but there's less of us.
Right.
But we still face the same systemic, institutional, racist systems. It's hard to say that because sometimes you don't want to, make people walk on eggshells around you in certain circles, but that's the reality of this. This place, the institutions of law, media, education, politics, economics, all that, they weren't designed for us. They weren't designed for the non-Euro, hetero patriarchy. They were designed to subdue us.
Right.
And so we're all kind of waking up from that. And through Native Lives Matter, like we united that with Black Lives Matter. And it's all across the board. Black Lives Matter includes Brown Lives Matter and on down the line.
Absolutely.
Like we're trying to dismantle, deconstruct the entire thing and rebuild it in our image now.
Absolutely, man. Give it up for that, guys.
But hey Tim, I gotta jump in the car.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to, take a rain check or just
no problem,
jump
man.
back on at a different time, man.
Not a problem. Only thing I want to ask you is how do people get involved with your campaign? I didn't get a chance to get to Kevin Kramer, which is your opponent, but where can they go find out more about you?
Let me just finish it out by saying I'm running against a Trump surrogate. I mean, this guy jumped all over Trump's coattails right in the beginning, and so we're like polar opposites. And you gotta, I mean, if he's endorsing Trump and he wants, to jump all over Trump's hate-filled coattails, then you gotta visit ironeyesforcongress.us to find out more about my platform and what I represent. What I'm trying to bring to the table.
Gotcha.
Just real people, real leadership, not politicians.
I do, man. I do. We will talk again, my brother. Look, thank you for making time. You're a busy guy. I know you're still in D.C. and you're about to go, man. But we will talk again, man. I'd love to have you back, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, brother.
Give it up for Chase Iron Eyes, guys. You got it, man. All right, guys. Man, what a night to have a technical difficulty. And look, and this is the I'm gonna tell you something. I've had a lot of people on this show, right? You know that. I get a lot of guests. Thankfully, through support of my team, I got the greatest team on the internet. All right? All the way from G Sass to my man Momo Pineno to Nicola Wango, Malika Rogers, Kate Loving, Jody. All right? These people are great. I got the greatest moderators. Iron Man Oz, When I Rap, Liberty Not a License, Momo Pineno again. I hope I didn't leave anybody out. And they're the ones that help me have these great guests on this show. Okay? No doubt. But this is one of the most authentic guests I've ever had. You know why I say that about Iron Eyes Chase? First of all, one clear reason. I mean more than some of the other people I've had. And no disrespect, because I had a lot of great guests. But I'm talking about politics right now. I'm talking about politics. And I'm going to tell you why. Because he spent the majority of his time talking to you about issues that affect his people, the people, us, that we should be concerned with. And how much time did he spend talking about his opponent and where you need to go donate money to and how much help you can give him and what have you. Now, look, guys, I'm going to keep it real. I'm from D.C., man. All right? I'm from D.C., the hood. Then I moved to Maryland. I was in more hood. I thought I was jumping out the frying pan. I jumped into the deep fryer. All right? But I'm going to tell you this, man. You tell what someone's about by their actions. All right? And the display that he displayed, what he showed here today was that it wasn't just about him getting elected. He wanted to get his voice out. He put his voice out. Average person who knew they were short on time would have been like, hey, make sure you get my website address. Make sure you know where to go send money. Make sure you know this. Make sure you know that. And I got to go, Tim Black. Got to go. You had a technical difficulty, Tim Black. So, we'll worry about that next time. Next time we'll talk about these issues, but we got to get this money up. Okay? You guys feel what I'm saying? So what do I want to do now more of, right? Based on the way that Chase Iron Eyes conducted this interview. I want to help him even more. I want to support him even more. His website is ironeyesforcongress.com. Ironeyesforcongress.com is his website, guys. Look, if you were going to help me out tonight, don't. Go help him. That's right. If you were going to do something for me tonight, don't do it for me. Do it for him. Because we need that representation. North Dakota needs to be represented by a Native American. And now is no better time for that to happen than right now. It's dying to happen. It needs to happen. It must happen. We must make it happen. I'm tired of taking L's. I'm tired of us looking for a win. I need a win in North Dakota with Iron Eyes. That's what I need, guys. I want a real brother. Listen to this. I want a lawyer. His wife is a doctor. I want these highly educated but close to their roots people to be able to represent the people of North Dakota and fight for changes and fight to make sure that the average person living on Standing Rock has a voice, guys. Now, I don't ask you for a lot. But sometimes I ask for stuff, but I don't ask for more than I need. And I need this from you. And you know why I need it? Not because I live there. Not because of anything I get, right? But them babies need it. Those babies need it. Those women the women in North Dakota, the women of Standing Rock Reservation need a win right now. And I can't guarantee that Obama's going to hold fast to his word, but I know if you give me your word, you will hold fast to your word. And if the people speak, with our feet and with our vote, maybe we can make a difference. And if we can speak with our wallets, that's even better, guys. But I want to make sure, man. I didn't look. I had a sleepless night when Tim Canova lost Florida. I do not want Iron Eyes to lose to a Trumpite. I don't want that to happen. I want to make sure we have time now. Let's do it. Let's be about it, guys. And I'm pitching her. I don't pitch like this for people. I just don't. Right? But I'm pitching for this. I've been let down by some other people. I'm going to be frank and honest with you guys. I've been let down by some other people. I got a rude awakening earlier today, and it like confirmed some beliefs, some things that people have been telling me about someone I had on my show. I couldn't believe what was coming out of this person's mouth. I couldn't believe the self-serving selfishness of this individual. But you know what? We rise above it. So I don't go to bat for people like I do, like I'm doing right now, without it truly being what I believe is the right thing to do. because my equity is on the line when I do this. And I'm telling you, I believe in Chase Iron Eyes. I believe in this campaign. I believe we need a Bernie Crat. Heck, he still has the cojones to call himself a Bernie Crat after all we've been through, guys. Come on. How many are supposed Bernie Crats still doing that? Huh? Hello? You know what I'm saying? Like, most of them doing like this. Oh, uh-oh. They backing away. Not Chase Iron Eyes. All right. Besides the fact him and my son share the same first name, which is why I was afraid to shout him out yesterday to let you know he was coming on the show. Because when I thought of his name, I was like, am I getting it mixed up with my son's name? Why am I doing? I just didn't want to. Guys, one more time, go to ironeyesforcongress.com. That's his website. That's his Facebook, Iron Eyes for Congress. On Twitter, it's Chase Iron Eyes. And do me a favor. Do me a favor. He won't look. I don't want anything from him. I just want him to know that it's time tonight. If you go by, say I heard about you, I saw you. You saw his picture, but you heard him on the Tim Black at Night show. It would really mean so much to me to know that we're having an impact and we're helping make changes. And I'm not just up here talking. You're not just up here listening, but we're actually making change in the real world for real people we may never meet. Though I do hope to meet him at one point. But people we may never meet. Children we may never push on the slide or smile at in person, but we will have affected them in a very positive way. And I would like for some Native children to be able to know that man represents me and he looks like me. And I want to give them that gift. Particularly running against a Trumpite, guys. And we can't beat a Trumpite. I mean, come on. Come on, guys. Come on. We could do this. All right. Water is life. Hashtag water is life, guys. Big time. Thank you for bearing with me on the technical difficulties of the show and the shortcut that we had to take. And he'll be back. He'll be back, guys. I promise you that. How can the audience help the campaign? They go to the site. You know, last week when they said they were going to bring out the National Guard, I knew this was going to happen. They locked up a number of people today. They had roadblocks set up. Peaceful protest, man. Peaceful protest doesn't mean you just be quiet, though, and knit. Peaceful protest just means you're not violent. Peaceful protest means you may stand in the way, but that's peaceful. I didn't say it was an obstruction, trying to stop you from doing what they don't want you to do, but it's peaceful. Why? Because there's no weapons, there's no punching, and these people are being treated like the other. And that's why I so related to what he was telling me, because I know what it's like to be treated like the other. Like Jane Elliott says, which is now one of my favorite quotes, you can't fix stupid, but you can fix ignorance with education. So they need to be educated in North Dakota. They need to be educated in our White House. I'm so glad Obama did the right thing and put a halt to it for now. Let's see what happens as this plays out. I will keep you up to date on what goes on with this. Guys, thank you very much. Let me give some shout outs to my people and let you know that I care about you watching the show tonight. Thank you for being here. Facebook Live, let's start with you. You guys waited around an extra half an hour, man. I want to thank you very much. Patricia Barros, peaceful protest. There you go. It's a peaceful protest. Peter Easton, how you doing, my friend? Thank you for being here. Rosemary Robertson, thank you for being here. Jester Dox Tater, thank you for being here. Jennifer Vickers, howdy to you, sister. Hashim Cooper, Obama needs to take a trip to North Dakota. You know what? Obama went to North Dakota back in 2012, I think it was, and he gave this impassioned speech talking about defending Native peoples and their land. So he's really on the spot now, because now is the time for you to live up to your words even further, sir. That's right, Obama. Live up to your word, sir. Now, I don't want to hear it's tough. It's tough being Native American on a reservation. Helen Ford, Liz Blaha, Letitia Minor Young, John Lamanin, Woodhold, Lori Hill, Fred Lexo, Rosemary Robertson, Valerie Celine, Frederick Murphy. Thank you all for being here. Karen Bridenthal. Oh, now's a good time to make this announcement so everyone knows this. Okay? This is important. And I wasn't going to announce it, but I think I should. So some people can make the decision if they want to stick around or not. In order for my show to stay unique each night, I have decided that the call-in line will be restricted for guests of the show. With the exception of Friday. Friday is still Freedom Friday. That's the night where people get to call up for Freedom Friday and talk about whatever they want. But since I go out on multiple platforms every night, the people want a different show every night. They want different topics every night. This is my business. And it's my job to give not only the people on YouTube, but to give the people on Blog Talk Radio, Stitcher Radio, iTunes, who get this broadcast, they want to hear a different show every night. So that's what I'm going to give them. That's the new direction of the channel. I will bring guests on this show. We will have different topics every night. We're going to mix up the show. We're going to do some different stuff. You look out, because Tim Black TV some people is trying to duplicate what I'm doing. Well, you ain't going to duplicate fast enough, because I'm about to make some fundamental radical changes to the show. But know this, the phone lines will never totally go away. There will always be a call-in line. So what you need to do is you need to save up your best 5 minutes every week. Save it up. Save up your best 5 minutes and use it and spend that time on Friday, on Freedom Friday, which is my courtesy to all my viewers who want to call in and have their voice be heard. Don't consider this censorship. Consider this a show that must adapt. We should be bigger. More people should hear us, and they will, with these changes coming in line. So I want to thank all the people that have committed to the show, who will choose to stay with the show, not just so that they have a platform. You know what? I encourage anyone who wants to have a continuous platform, start your own YouTube channel. It's easy. What's hard is making it happen every day, making it different, competing against others for attention, so people know you're out there. But just start. A lot of you have cut your teeth on this show, calling in night after night. Now it's time for you to go out there and do your own shows and do your own podcasts. Go to PodRev, go to michaelsalomon.com and go to his Pod Revolution website, where you can start your own blog. Maybe you don't want your face. Do a podcast. The revolution needs more people. Be one of them. Look at this as your push, that firm push in the back for you to go get it in. All right. YouTube, I got love for you. Mad love, mad respect to you. Thank you so much for holding me down. We will be back tomorrow. Yes, we will. And I'm sort of like out of it at the moment. Mr. Pincus. He's running against what's that little lady in California? Carries water for Hillary at every chance. Can I carry more water for you, Hillary? Can I be more for you, Hillary? What else can I do for you, Hillary? Nancy Pelosi. I got the man that's going to defeat Nancy Pelosi, going to be on my show tomorrow, and we're going to kick some butt right here on the Tim Black Show. I hope that you join me, guys. I need you there. I do. So, here's the deal. Chase Iron Eyes came on the show to tell us what we already knew. Some of us, others of us, are just now learning just how bad it is in North Dakota, just what's going on in that area. I hope that there was some context added to it to prove to you so that you now know it's bad all over. And for some people, it's even worse. There's always someone at your door talking about
you gonna eat your cornbread.
And what the native peoples, over 140 different tribes from all over the world have sojourned to this area to stand with their brothers and sisters in solidarity, in peaceful protest, to let them know
nobody take no cornbread from me.
Nobody take no cornbread from me. Now it looks like they pulled out looks like they did. They brought out the National Guard to push these people out, to further intimidate them, to get them to buckle, to give in to what's going on, and they're standing firm. So they come out with those dogs. That didn't work. Now they come out with men with machine guns, automatic rifles. They're there just to intimidate, let them know.
Maybe I ought to eat your cornbread.
Well, you know what? We had Iron Man. We had Iron Eyes. Iron Man's my moderator. We had Iron Eyes on the show tonight to let him know that he's running for Congress, and he and all his supporters, and that's not just Native peoples, that's all peoples. This affects us all. And injustice to one is injustice for all. We will not be moved, and we are the people, and we will stand together against tyranny in any form. And if America doesn't get its act together real soon, because the complexion for the protection from the collection is going in the wrong direction, Paul Mooney. Well, you know what?
It's going to be consequences and repercussions.
It's going to be consequences and repercussions, baby. You know what time it is, man. Give it up for yourselves, guys. All right. You too, people. I want to do some music. You want to do some music, people? Let's do some music. Y'all ready for some music? Look, I know this comedian. You may have heard of him. His name is Dave Chappelle. He's got a funny thing he does called...
Let's sprinkle some crack on him and get out of here.
I switched that around a little bit to make it fit me, and let's sprinkle some facts on him, and then we're out of there. I'm Tim Black. Thank you for being here for Tim Black at Night. I'll be back tomorrow where we'll kick some more behind and give you some food for your mind. Don't you like how I rhyme? Peace out to my man Tupac. All eyes on me. And shout out to my people on YouTube land. Newport 75, The Broken Carpenter, Stephanie Chateau, Barbara Miller, Momo Pineno, Low Key, Ricky James, Angel Tibbs, Nicole Luongo, Tony Zamboni, DL Freight Watcher, Kathy Sanders, Celeste Mackin, McChristy, Tobin Summers, Carmelina Foutoir, Liberty Not a License, Ralph Rance, Roro Rance, where you at, Roro? Nate Jerm, Marius Raminus, what's up? Deborah Grant, Ken Clonch, Patrick DeCambra, what up, bruh? And who else is here? Bean, Ginger Beeler, Uncle Ron, what up, Uncle Ron? What's going on, guy? Madeline G, with a G. And anyone else, Bruins for Cornbread, Kevin Coffee, Fantomas, Fanto, that's a new name, Stephanie Ross, Barbara Miller, welcome to the show, Fantos. Lisa Mojica, Judy Lee Sugar, all right. Siege S, what's up, Siege? Derek Long, Red Monk, my man, Red Eye, where you at, Red Eye? KDC 64 Cadillac Coupe de Ville, Bram SL1, Public Enemy number one. And my whole crew, man, thank you so much for being here. And now, for some music.
Tim Black.
Yeah.
Tim Black.
We did some good tonight, y'all.
Yes, I am. Two. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com.
The last time you're gonna see a black guy like this again.
Do yourselves a favor, people.
There's a black guy coming through.
Do yourselves a favor, people. And whatever you do,
look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
Don't fall for no bananas in your tailpipe. Don't you let nobody take your cornbread. See you tomorrow, 9 p.m. Oh man, I still got a couple videos to upload. Don't forget, guys, if you're a digital editor, I need your help. Holler at me at tim@timblacktv.com. You crazy digital editor, you. Holler at me, talk to me, because I got content and I need help putting it out. Thank you so much, guys. And all my people who volunteer for Facebook, Reddit, Twitter, we're getting back to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much for reaching out. It's just tough, but we're going to get to it and set it up and make it official. Thank you so much, guys. You can't make everybody happy, but do your best to make yourself happy. Make a few people happy too along the way. Peace. Booyah. Now I want to know what's wrong with this software that I pay for monthly. How this software not going to